Ukraine is waiting for fighter jets and security guarantees during the 13th Ramstein meeting. Good afternoon, this is Henry Keane on UATV channel, breaking the hard truth in easy terms for the whole free world directly from Ukraine. Time is usually money. Today in Ukraine, it's way more lives. Every time we in Ukraine hear that the promised weapons supply is delayed for any reason, it means that Ukrainian soldiers are giving their lives so that we have this time. Our fallen will be remembered forever and will stay in our hearts to celebrate the day of our national upcoming victory with us. Together we're moving forwards. Ukraine is preparing for the next Ramstein meeting and expects solidly grounded decisions to meet the prospects on the battlefield. And as so, the details of the aircraft coalition and opening of hubs for aircraft repair to be discussed at Ramstein. Ambition is best when served with firepower. A perfect recipe for long-lasting and just peace.
During the meeting, we will discuss the details of the aircraft coalition. In this case, we are still talking about training pilots, and not only pilots, but also our technicians and engineers who will be involved in aircraft maintenance. This is a very complex system. We will be discussing the issues in detail with the teams from the defense ministries of the Netherlands, Denmark, the US and other countries that have joined this coalition. Oleksiy Reznikov, Minister of Defense of Ukraine.
President Volodymyr Zelensky has noted that Ukraine will receive a large number of modernized F-16s multipurpose fighter jets from international partners. As it is the case with any big international gathering, there are obvious and not too obvious reasons to it. For Ramstein this June, obviously, everyone wants Ukraine to have peace. Non-obvious is that not everyone wants the peace to come with the Ukrainian victory. Some say to freeze the war, the one that we never started, is enough. They say this is peace. I'm sure some of us think that way too, like those bloodthirsty Ukrainians. What are they thinking? And this West is going to give them fighter jets. What for? Why don't these guys just surrender to the objective reality and Russia and give up on some of their territories and people to save the rest? You know, when Hitler had lost it all and died and was buried, tens of thousands of Germans still thought he was the best leader that happened to Germany. To ruined, defeated, burnt out Germany that they believed happened by mistake. If only Hitler ruled for a while, for the whole world, it would do good to it. These people would feed the beast, the whole world, so only not to give up on the idea that they are not dead wrong. So they are not to believe that they are accomplices of fascists, accomplices of murderers, accomplices of torturers and rapists, but it was exactly what they were. As all these peace-loving states and individuals that want appeasement of the Kremlin monster and not his demise, they are, willingly or not, its accomplices. Accomplices, international criminal, waging a genocidal war right here and now. Long story short, there is no short story. Ukraine is walking the path of war, and there is no other way out to peace but through victory. The victory of Ukraine for the whole free world. Just choose your side. Reconstruction starts now. Life does not wait, and we won't wait for our victory to rebuild Ukraine. We need to start implementing specific projects right now. The International Conference on Ukraine's Recovery, URC23, which is to be held in London next week, represents the central forum for the international community to support Ukraine in its recovery and reconstruction efforts. URC23 should help attract investment and increase financial support for Ukraine, ensuring recovery and reconstruction processes are implemented with an exclusive lens and also vitally important. We are seeking that countries and companies support the government's reconstruction plan and boldly engage in Ukraine's recovery by providing economic, social and environmental resilience in our common marathon to victory. Our efforts will continue to explore appropriate options for financing and compensation mechanism, including a solid legal basis for the use of frozen and immobilized Russian assets to support Ukraine's reconstruction. We urge all our partners worldwide to dialogue in order to find practical and modern solutions to restore vital economic, social and natural ecosystems ASAP for our common good. New country, new safety architecture, new markets and opportunities. We focus not only simply rebuilding the old and outdated, we want to be creating new, better Ukraine, a green economy, a new horizontal local economic development to boost long-term jobs and opportunities for Ukrainians and foreign businesses in Ukraine. We have all the confidence that with our allies and partners, we will defeat Russia's illegal and unprovoked invasion and build a new vital Ukraine, peaceful, prosperous and thriving country, open to opportunities the history has given to us. The opportunities we simply have no chance to miss. The head of the Russian Federation Foreign and Defense Policy Council, Sergei Karaganov, and the former head of the Moscow branch of the Carnegie Foundation, Dmitry Trenin, suggested that the state leadership launch nuclear strikes on Ukraine and its partners. That's right. So much for the Russian intellectual elite that seems to be losing the remnants of common sense and moral guidelines. This is a consequence of being a part of a totalitarian sect created by Putin. Experts in the Russian Federation understand that under the current regime, Russia will never win the war, so they recommend the last resort of a scoundrel, patriotic nuclear argument. Even so far, the hypothetical use of nuclear weapons is a direct violation of the Budapest Memorandum and all international agreements. It will be the end of Russia, inevitable and quick and disastrous. The safer way for Russia is to recognize the obvious, the collapse of Putin's regime, and agree to the Ukrainian peace terms, and by all means further efforts to atone for the guilt and compensate for the damage caused, but highly unlikely to happen with all this bloodthirsty public discussion of the nuclear scenario by Russian intellectuals, is a signal that it requires a decisive response from the West to increase pressure on the aggressor state. Stay calm. Help Ukraine and watch the upcoming episodes on UATV state channel with me, Henry Keane, and my fellow colleagues bringing the hard truth in easy terms for the whole free world directly from Ukraine. Comment and subscribe. We will do our best to answer your questions on our weekly wrap-ups. Your opinion is what matters the most to us. Stay safe and see you tomorrow.